are broadcasted here live on Instagram. This is my live Instagram show, where if you're new to this, we're going to chat about some news, drum news, some topics that have been sent in, some questions that have been sent in, and I've even got a giveaway. So stay in here until the end to make sure you can win something. And it's also going out on YouTube as well. So it goes up on my YouTube page, Drum Clips. Go over to Drum Clips, please subscribe, excuse me. Woo! Go over to Drum Clips, subscribe to my YouTube page. There's loads and loads of good stuff up there, including a video by official EBZ, who I could just see has just come in, which is Ebenezer, who was the winner of the Young Drum of the Year competition last year. There's a video of his performance up there as well. So there's so much good stuff, so go over and subscribe to that on Drum Clips, and this video will also be there. So I've got two cameras rolling at the moment. I've got the live Instagram camera, and for those that are watching this on YouTube, that's what I'm doing here. So, like I said, I hope you're well. If you've got any questions, please put them in the question mark box at the bottom. And today we're going to cover some topics that have been sent in, some questions that have been sent in, some drum news. There'll even be a drum lesson, and like I said, later on in the show, I'm going to be giving away on Instagram Live this Vic Firth T-shirt. So, I hope you've all been well. We'll start off with some drum news. So, currently Tama have just announced quite a few new products for the music show this year, NAMM, which should be taking place on the 20th of January in LA. Unfortunately, that has been cancelled, obviously, like everything. So there won't be no NAMM this year. I will be still covering it. I will still be doing some new products that companies have got that we'll be doing. So during that week, stay with me, and I'm going to try and do a few things from the studio, so remotely. But Tama have already announced some new products. So they've just announced a Club Jam suitcase kit, which I have to say looks pretty cool. And they've also got the Cocktail Jam mini kit. So if you want to go over to tama.com, you can see a little bit more information about that. They've got some other bits and pieces there as well, but there's a few things there. Chris Coleman was my guest on here last year on my live Instagram chats, and we've got Chris coming up again later on in the year. But he's currently doing the Seth Meyers show. So if you're in the US, you can watch that anyway. But if you're not in the US, you can catch that on YouTube and various other platforms. Kaz Rodriguez did the show a couple of weeks ago, and currently, right now, Chris Coleman is doing that. So that's the Seth Meyers show. So go and check that out. For those that are familiar, or not familiar, I should say, with the Drum Hangs, the UK event that's set up called Drum Hangs, they've just announced their new artists this month for chats, etc., etc., which is Dave Illich is doing one, Adam Nesbarn is doing one, and then the great Vinny Colaiuta is doing one. So if you want to check that out, go over to their social media page, Drum Hangs, go and see what that's all about and sign up for that. And also Drum Fantasy Camp have just announced a few online masterclasses as well. I think Aaron Spears is doing one, David Garibaldi is doing one. So again, if you want to check that out, go over and check the Drum Fantasy Camp social media page. So like I said, if you've got any questions, please put them into the question mark box. I've got a couple of topics that we're going to discuss today, and I've also been sent in a few questions. So I thought we'd just start by taking a break, or excuse me, I don't know what's going on here today. I've got a little bit of a tickle in my throat, and no, it's not COVID, you're fine, and you won't catch it, you're okay. Taking a break and then trying to stay positive, because like many people around Europe and probably around the world, depending on your situation, the UK's gone back into a lockdown, and a lot of people are struggling with this, and I think this time it's probably going to be a little bit harder on a lot of us than it was before, because it's colder, and we know what to expect. So I want to address those subjects, and we're all in the same situation here. So I've had quite a few messages through the period of time since March when I first started these, of people talking about these events, what I try to do here, try to do regular scheduled events so people can get involved. But I took a break over the Christmas period for a couple of weeks for various reasons, and this is relevant for hopefully people that are watching this, and that was just to clear my head from I try very, very hard to stay positive through all of this, and I felt that little things, nothing major, but things were just starting to irritate me, and I was feeling that it was dragging me down. So I decided to take a break for a couple of weeks over the Christmas period from social media, from doing these shows, from doing the Instagram live chats, to reevaluate everything that I'm trying to do, and hopefully come back and start all over again, which I'm going to do. Now that's also important for everyone that's watching this, or everyone that's maybe just struggling a little bit with us going back into a lockdown. So we come out of this lockdown, we have no choice. We've got to go and we've got to do what we've been told to do. We can moan, we can argue, we can grumble, but the only person that's going to affect is us, ourselves. Okay, it's not going to do any difference. It's not going to make the government change their mind. It's not going to make anyone change their mind. It's just going to affect us, and it's not worth it. Okay, we've got to try and find something positive out of this. So let's start again. Let's look at goals we could achieve. We don't know how long we're going to be in this situation, and like I said, I'm addressing Europe, everyone around the world. I'm trying to say the same for everyone. We don't know what is ahead of us and how long we're going to do this for. So let's use this as a positive time. What we do know is we do know that we're going to come out of this. Okay, we know that, and when we come out of it, music's going to come back and things are going to come back. Okay, so that we know. Okay, so let's not use this time to bring us down and give us negative thoughts or make us struggle. Let's use this time as a positive. Now that could be anything that you want to do. If you're all drummers on here, then maybe start getting into particular books that you've wanted to look at before. Maybe this is your opportunity to start maybe doing some online lessons. Use this time constructively. I've talked about this on here numerous times, but I set myself little goals. My goals up to Christmas, which I achieved, was to get to a running distance that I wanted to get to, which I achieved. And I will continue getting out there. It's getting colder, obviously, but I will just wrap up. And I find that exercise is so good anyway, that if you can get out there every day, if you can run, great. And it doesn't even matter if you run 10 minutes, okay? But if you can't, you can go and walk. Get out there, get some fresh air in your lungs, and try and push on from there. And like I said, set yourself some targets, set yourself some goals. Now, I've been recently talking to people offline about this subject, and obviously over Christmas period, a lot of people were spending time on their own or differently than they've ever done before. And it was really interesting to find out what people were doing. So some people said to me, I got a big jigsaw puzzle, for example. Somebody said, I got this big jigsaw puzzle and I worked on this jigsaw puzzle. I've never done one before, that was my aim. Somebody else said, I got out on my bike and I took photos of the local area. They were doing something that they wouldn't normally do. Excuse me. So again, look at that. Think to yourself of different things that you can do in this downtime. And we have to use this, don't let this time go by in 2 months' time or however long it's going to be and go, wow, I wasted my time on this. Okay, let's use it. Okay, like I said, I know it's going to be tough. We're all going to go up and down in troughs. And by the way, I'm always here. If people want to drop me messages about anything that they're struggling or whatever, just DM me and I will reply to you. That's one of the most rewarding things that's happened to me. I'm turning the snares off in this snare. They're all rattling in here. One of the most rewarding things that's happened over this period is a lot of people contacted me and have said how this has helped. So, and to be honest, I question myself. Anyone now that's watched a few of these know, and anyone that's heard me talk about this, I have questioned myself constantly about whether I should be coming up here and doing these talks, whether I should be doing these live Instagram chats, etc., etc. So I do question myself. So it's very rewarding to hear if I am helping someone on that. So, like I said, DM me if you're having any problems, if you're struggling. But also just find people, find friends. You'll be very surprised how many people are there for you when you're struggling. Okay, so that's my topic for this week. Now, I've had some questions in. So first question is from Jonathan Rayner. Brilliant. So I'm reading this out because obviously on YouTube you can't see this, but Naylan, the drummer photographer, has just said, we build Lego Harry Potter Hogwarts with 6,000 pieces. So there you go, see? And I bet you felt good afterwards. In fact, I'll tell you something that I've started doing that I never knew existed before, which we've got into over Christmas, and that is the Monopoly card game, which is bizarre because I hate Monopoly. It takes me back to my my youth of me and my sister arguing over houses and hotels. But the card game was very good, so I have to say I recommend that. I had a question from Jonathan Rayner. Like I said, any questions, pop them in the question mark box and I'll try to address them. Jonathan Rayner's asked me, would you ever do a Young Drummer of the Year for the older age group? That's a good question, Jonathan, and I'm sure that most of you know. Thank you, Alice. Thank you. Alice just said, great to see you back, Mike. Hope you had a good one. Yep. Nayland's come back. Yes, it was great. I'll send you a picture later. Good. Well, we'll have to post it. You need to post that picture. So, Young Drum of the Year, if you don't know about it, is an event that I've been running for the last 20 years. Ebenezer is up here at the moment, won the last one. Young Drum of the Year is an event that I run in the UK for 16-year-olds and under. For the first time ever, we couldn't do it this year because of COVID, and the final would have been in about 3 weeks' time. So I made a decision that because we couldn't get to theatres and venues, I made a decision which looks like it was the right decision now, that I didn't want to go to start all the preparation, which would have gone back to September last year, and then find that we couldn't do the event live. And yes, we couldn't do the event. But Young Drum of the Year, there's been some great winners. Like I said, if you go up onto my website, go up onto Drum Clips, my YouTube page, you can see all the previous winners, and a lot of the winners have gone and done really well. So that's a quick breakdown. So Jonathan's asking me, would I consider doing one for an older group? Now there's a reason why I decided that Young Drum of the Year should be an event for 17 and under. So you have to be 16 years old on February the 3rd. Okay, anyone that's 17 isn't allowed in there. And the reason I decided to do it for that age is there is a massive difference in a playing, not necessarily ability, but the way that you handle a drum kit and the way your sound comes from 16 to 18-year-olds. It's a huge difference, okay? And I just didn't think it was a fair playing field to have a competition with 18-year-olds and 16-year-olds together. So I did it for 16-year-olds. The other reason was I wanted to show, if you like, in the UK, the talent that we've got at 16-year-olds, and I felt that they needed this kind of support. So to answer your question, would I consider doing one for an older age group? The answer is no, okay? But I'm working on an idea this year, because we're in lockdown, of maybe running a platform via Instagram and YouTube where anyone can enter. It's not necessarily a competition, although there may be some kind of I don't want to use the word prize because that's the wrong word, but maybe an incentive, let's say. So I am looking at the moment of doing something. It's a bit more of fun, but it's going to open the doors up. So I've never done doing a competition for the over 16s, but this is an event this is something that I think might help people. So just watch this space. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. Right, the next person that sent me in a question was, and I hope I get this right, Sion, S-I-O-N, and Prosciutto, Proschotta, and they've said, what is your favourite band of all time? Wow. Wow, that is a very, very tricky question. And I really, really will struggle nailing one band down, but you want me to, so I'm going to. And I need to explain why, because music, as it is for everybody, everyone that's watching this, connects with us for different reasons and different times in our life. Hang on. Cheers. So that's the beauty of music, and that is why music is so strong, and that is why music, unfortunately, will always be there. It'll be a big part of our life, and unfortunately, although like many governments around the world, it's almost been pushed to one side and we've been forgotten about, but it is so important. It's in everybody's lives, and I've discussed that up here before. So I think that to answer that question, I will give you my favourite band, but I want to just give you a bit of a background. So I remember the first time I heard Elvis Costello, and for the younger members on there, maybe you need to go and check this out. I remember hearing them for the first time and where I was. At the time, it was in a country that doesn't even exist anymore, called Yugoslavia, which is now part of the Croatian, I think, it's part of Croatia. But I was in Yugoslavia working. I was about 13 years old. I was in a youth orchestra, and I remember somebody playing Elvis Costello, which Pete Thomas was on drums, and it just blew my mind because I'd never heard anything like that. It was raw. It was poetic in the writing, and so I got into Elvis Costello in a massive way, and from Elvis Costello it went off to different areas. So that still has a massive impact on me, but purely now because it takes me back to my memories of those days. So Elvis Costello, I'm a fan of. Still listen to all his music up to date now. And then at different levels of my life, I've got into different bands. I think if you asked me to pick one band now, I think I'd pick Steely Dan, because it's been around with me for a long, long time, and it's opened my ears and taught me about a lot of other drummers and musicians. You know, from Steely Dan as a young age, I probably would have found out about Rick Morato, Jerry Morato, obviously Gadd I knew about at the time anyway, but all those great drummers. So I think, not necessarily because I'm a huge fan, I'm a big fan of Steely Dan the band, but because of what Steely Dan has brought to me, I think would definitely be one now. Another one would be John Mayer. Again, I loved the first band, and then I love the way that he's changed over the years. So I think, to answer your question, even though I've gone around the houses, it's going to have to be probably Steely Dan. And like I said, it's because of everything that Steely Dan has brought to me. Right, so let's do a drum lesson. I think I've done all my questions. I've done my topic. I've drunk my coffee. So I've got a Vic Firth T-shirt to give away for those that are watching this on live Instagram. If you're not watching this on live Instagram, unfortunately you cannot win the T-shirt. If you're watching this afterwards, tough, you should have been here at 7 o'clock. Okay, so let me just adjust my video camera so that you can see what's going on here. So first of all, I'm going to explain what I'm going to do. I'm going to play a sticking pattern, quite a simple sticking pattern. It's just going to go right, left, right, right, left, left. Okay, you could do it the other way around, left, right, left, left, right, right. But this is going right, left, right, right, left, left. Okay, and all I'm going to do is show you three sticking patterns. Three feet patterns that I would do with that one sticking pattern. Okay, so I'm going to move this camera. So hopefully, luckily for you, you can't see my face, which is probably better anyway. But what you can do is hopefully, obviously on YouTube, you're getting all this anyway, but hopefully you can see what's going on here. Okay, can't see my feet, so don't, if you're going to ask any questions now, definitely put them in the question mark box, because I can't see the Instagram live. So the sticking is going to go right, left, right, right, left. But what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to play them across two sound sources. Right, left, right, right, left. Okay, so I'm using 6 notes there. Okay, so that's quite simple. That's not the tricky part. Now, all I'm going to do now is I'm going to use 3 feet patterns with the same sticking. My first feet pattern, I'm going to just go 16th notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. But my hands obviously are playing 6. So I've got this. Okay, my next foot pattern, same hands, is a shuffle or a samba. So there's your dagga, 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 da. Okay, so the 6 notes, the paradiddle diddle, as it is, right, left, right, right, left, left, it's going to sound like this. Okay, and finally we're going to use the soaker foot, which is almost, so there's your 4, but we're going to use the paradiddle diddle, 6 notes. So the first one, shuffle, and left side, there's today's free drum lesson. Okay, right, so I hope you liked that. Any questions, please put them in the question mark box or DM me. If you're watching this on live Instagram, you can contact me on, sorry, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can contact me on my Instagram account, which is mikedolbear.com. And also, please, please, please tell other people about this Instagram. Spread this Instagram account around. The reason for that is because of the interviews and that I'm trying to do. I want as many people to know about that as possible. Please subscribe to my YouTube page, Drum Clips, because like I said, there's lots of stuff up there. If you have a good look around there, if you're not familiar with it, there's some really good interviews. There's all my web shows that I've done over the years, great guests. There's my trips to Stuart Copeland's house and etc, plus all the Young Drum of the Year performances. So that's on Drum Clips. Next thing I would like to say as well is please support your drum shops at the moment. I know you can't go in there. I know that, I know maybe some of you money might be scarce, so you can't. But even a little message to them. This is a trying time, and as I said earlier, we will come out of this and music will still be around. But let's hope that we've got the infrastructure still there when we come out of this. So we need to support our shops wherever you are in the world, wherever you're watching this. Like I said, even if you can't spend the money at the moment, they're all online. You can buy stuff anyway. But even a message, just check in with them. Just make sure they're doing okay. See how things are going, etc, etc. And just think twice now when we click that button to buy a new product and you see it on Amazon and you're like, oh, that pair of sticks is 50p cheaper. Oh, hang on a minute. You just don't know how much good you're doing to maybe help with one of these drum shops. It's the same all over the world. Drum shops are closing. They're not surviving out of this. They're going to go for another tough time. Hopefully everyone's a little bit more set up this time with being online. But please, like I said, even if it's a little email to them, if it's just a text, if you've got their phone numbers, just check in with them, make sure they're okay. You know, when you're buying something, just think about using your shops. Right, okay, so that's it, except I've got a t-shirt to give away. So, as you would have seen before Christmas, I was sent some lovely gifts from various people, and one being Vic Firth and Zildjian. I have got this t-shirt already, so I decided, right, let me give this one away. So it's all sealed, don't worry, I didn't wear it, I didn't go for a run in it, you're fine, so I haven't devalued it. I can only send this out to the UK, and it can only be for the Instagram Live followers. Sorry about that, but it's coming out of my pocket when I send this, and obviously YouTube, and if you're watching this afterwards, it's going to go too quickly. So I'm going to ask you a question regarding something that we talked about at the beginning of the show, or during the show. So my question at the moment would be, I talked about a particular drummer that is currently playing, a good buddy of mine who's currently playing the Seth Meyers show this week. Who was that drummer? If you weren't in for the beginning, I will start giving you some more clues. No need to. Jules Drums, you're in. Chris Coleman is that drummer. So Jules, please just DM me your postal address, and I will get this t-shirt out to you. You can wear it with pride. Vic Firth t-shirt. Watch out for things that I've got coming up. I've got some really exciting stuff coming up. I promise you. My guests start next week. I'm not going to announce my guests yet, although I've already started putting those into place. And I'm still making plans on this one. I will have my 100th Instagram live chat, which is going to be a combination. I just couldn't have one guest on that day, so we're going to do a combination. So I've got my 100th Instagram live chat next week as well, so I'm going to do that. So keep an eye on this on my social media. Like I said, if you're watching this on YouTube, go over to my Instagram account, MikeDolbear.com, or go to my Twitter, which is Mike Dolbear, and you will find out what's going on. So I've got guests starting again next week, including my 100th, and I promise you, I've got some great guests lined up. We're all going to go through all this again. Drummers are all ready to come up here and share their time with us. So this just leaves me to say, if you are in need of you know, going through a bit of a tough time, getting a little bit down, etc., etc., find someone to talk to. I'm happy for you to DM me here, but let's now try and use this time to be positive. We can't worry about things that are going on, as in we can't have anything, we can't do anything about that, but what we can do is look after ourselves. Check in on other people, you know, just a message once in a while. Again, you never know how well that's doing. Try and support our drum shops. Let's all do what we're told so we can get out there and make some music again and connect with each other and do some drum shows, etc., etc., wherever you are in the world. So that's it. Thank you very much for joining me tonight, and I will start these again next week. There'll be another one of these next week, and the live Instagram chats will start next week. So Tommy Igo, you've just come into the house just as I'm about to finish. I hope you're well, Tommy. You all look after yourselves. Good to see you, Tommy. You all look after yourself. Be nice to each other. Be kind. Please do what we're told, so like I said, we can get out of this mess.